Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Thursday, October 2, 2025 and I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Masa Haimouni and we've got a packed show for you today. So the headlines are Saudi artist Spotify royalties surged 3.5 million in 2024.
Something happened?
Yeah, something with the mic.
Oh yeah, I'll read the headlines, but Jomana Alrashid, she's the head of SRMG, is named to Time100 next list. She's the first Saudi to be honored with this. Saudi Arabia has launched $80 million fashion fund. I think Masa is very excited about it. And they want to boost basically local brands. And Mubadala has led the MENA sovereign investment activity with $17.4 billion in 2025 in the first 9 months. And last year, they were the biggest investors in the world. So let's see if they finish the year with that. But let's start with the very first story. And when I read the number, I was very interested that I want to also become a Spotify person who puts up music there. But Saudi Arabia's music sector has hit a new milestone with local artists earning more than 13 million reals. That's equal to 3.5 million US dollars in royalties on Spotify in 2024, the last year. The figure released in Spotify's first ever loud and clear report for the kingdom represents a 76% jump from last year. So just you can say they earned 1 million and now they're earning 3.5, and that's more than double the total recorded in 2022.
So the report highlights Saudi's music's growing international appeal. So more than 90% of royalties came from overseas markets, including the United States, Brazil, India, Germany, the United Kingdom, and France. Saudi artists were discovered more than 220 million times by first-time listeners worldwide in 2024, a 75% increase from the previous year.
And the platform also noted sharp growth at home. Streams of Saudi music in the kingdom have risen by nearly 200% since 2020. Egypt, the UAE, Morocco, Iraq, and Jordan are among the biggest regional consumers. Artists such as Aid, Zina Imad, and collaborations with international DJs are leading this wave.
So Spotify executives say Arabic is now one of the fastest growing languages on the platform, with data insights helping artists expand their reach. So the report underlines how streaming is reshaping the music industry, with the Middle East and North Africa confirmed as the fastest growing region for global music consumption.
It's a very interesting story.
That's a very interesting
Would you want to go to Saudi Arabia and start releasing music to get some chunk of that $3.5 million, right?
Oh, God. You know, yesterday we had a guest from Dubai Music. And yes, and he was telling us something. He was like, we have great artists in the region.
Yeah.
We have the next big artists here in the Middle East. It's just that they're not discovered yet.
I think
that's the thing.
It's the language bias of the search engines as well. If you go to Google and if you write something in Arabic, the search is not that good. English-wise, it's good. Now, because of AI, it's changing also. But I think that was the bias that we always had, that every platform for search or anything was primarily in English. I think Anghami came. Anghami was also primarily in English also. But they brought all the Arab music on one platform. So that became better, right? But Anghami is also now bought by us. It's a long story, but Anghami, I think, was the Spotify, still the Spotify of this region. But how many of them? And I think Amr Diab is the biggest one, right?
Amr Diab is the biggest one, but there are new ones. CSA Levant is hitting charts and hitting headlines, and he's an Arab, and he does a mix of Arabic and English content. So
I can't listen to them because I don't understand them. I started listening to Fairoz. I listen to Fairoz a lot.
Yeah. They do a lot of remixes for her. Like, actually respect the music that she does, you know?
No, but I heard the original ones. Actually, it was on Spotify when I heard this. But she's good. She's really good.
She's really good.
Even without like getting what she's saying, I sometimes have the translation on the side open and I listen to it and I'm like, such a soulful, beautiful, powerful voice. So we have Pakistani artists like that. I think every region has a Fairoz, right? Every region. In Pakistan, we have Abda Parveen. She's like that. She's been, I don't know, since I've been alive, I've been listening to her.
Yeah.
But she sings Qawwalis, just more like Sufi music. But every region has that. So yeah, if you don't know about Fairoz, go listen to her.
Yeah, and if you want
the newer ones, ask Masa for suggestions. Amr Diab, I think, is the coolest one. Everyone knows Amr Diab.
Knows him. He's like, they call him he's the biggest artist. Yani he's known internationally. But you know what? We're about to have artists that will be known worldwide. And if you want to kickstart your career, maybe
Yeah,
Saudi
this is the
Arabia
time.
is the place
This is the right time.
And Saudi Arabia is the place to be.
And very importantly, this is the first ever time that Spotify has done a special report for Kingdom. They
That's
do it
so
every
good.
year globally. Saudi Arabia, Middle East, UAE, Arab music is a part of it, small part of it.
Yeah.
But this time they realized that they need to do a separate one. So very good.
We're a big region. So.
Yeah, now I think we are a big region. We have been a big region for 2-3 years now, since everyone is
Yeah,
coming
we're
here and the
growing.
money is coming here.
You know,
Everyone just wants to
I-
be here, and Spotify is like, we'll do a report also, show our presence in the region.
It's like, yeah, I think they just want to make a mark, you know. They're noticing the huge surge of people moving here into the region. And
Yeah.
this is what I always say, by the way, on the Love and Dubai show. It's like we're becoming the new LA.
Oh, nice.
Dubai is becoming,
Yes.
yeah, we're becoming the new LA where everyone's coming into...
Yeah. You heard it here first from Masa.
you can quote me in the future, like the
Yeah.
new LA.
And next up, today we have a lot of Saudi stories because Saudi Arabia apparently woke up in the last week and it's been all Saudi Arabia. But Jomana Alrashid, she's the CEO of Saudi Research and Media Group. You can look at the logo, it's usually SRMG, but I wrote the full name just to let you know what it means. And she is also the chairwoman of the Red Sea Film Foundation, and she's been named to Time magazine's prestigious Time 100 Next. That's the name, Time 100 Next list. She becomes the first Saudi ever in the history of Saudi Arabia to be included in the annual ranking of 100 emerging global leaders shaping the future across business, media, politics, sports, and culture.
So Time described Alrashid as an architect of the Middle East shifting media landscape. Since becoming SRMG's first female CEO in 2020, she has driven a digital-first transformation, launched new media verticals, and built major international partnerships. Her leadership has contributed to SRMG's rapid growth and reinforced investor confidence in the company's expansion across media, entertainment, and technology.
She's done a lot. And
Yeah.
beyond business, Al-Rashid has played a transformative role in cinema also as chairwoman of the Red Sea Film Foundation. Under her leadership, more than 80 supported films, which are supported by the Red Sea Film Foundation, have premiered and won awards at top global festivals. Cannes. Which one do you say? Cannes, and Venice to Toronto and Sundance, giving Arab, African, and Asian filmmakers a platform on the world stage.
So, reacting to the recognition, Alrashid said that I am deeply honored to be included in the Time 100 Next list. This reflects the collective efforts of the extraordinary teams at SRMG and the Red Sea Film Foundation and the broader transformation underway across Saudi Arabia.
And lastly, her inclusion also highlights not only her rising global influence, but also Saudi Arabia's expanding role in the creative economy. We recently saw that Saudi PIF, which is a sovereign wealth fund, they bought EA Sports with Silver Lake and affinity partners led by Jared Kushner. They paid $57 billion to acquire the biggest maker of games in the world. So they are just taking over the creative economy and the entertainment industry and the gaming industry. But as the kingdom continues its cultural and economic transformation, Jomana's leadership underscores how Saudi storytelling is inspiring audiences and reshaping media on a worldwide scale. And I think the most important part of this story, which I will now quote this story for the next, I think, 10 years, that the first ever time a Saudi goes on this Time 100 Next leg, and it's a woman.
It's a female.
It's a female.
I'm so happy
You
we
can't
live in
even
the
think
time.
of this like 10 years ago or before 2015 when
Exactly.
Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman came. Women were not able to drive, there were no cinemas, there was nothing.
Yeah.
And now the
I know
first...
they're making the first ever to be featured on Time magazine. That's just such a groundbreaking thing to say. Yeah.
And I think women deserve it after our gender.
Yeah, because we you know there are so many hidden talents, so many hidden skills that are not discovered, or maybe they were not given the chance to be able to discover it. And she got on and she proved herself to be able to be featured in Time magazine, basically.
But yeah, it's very important that women are making their mark in Saudi Arabia, especially.
In Saudi Arabia,
especially
to break
in Saudi
the stereotype about
the West
the
now has no
culture.
reason to say, oh, the women are
Exactly.
suppressed and this and that. Here you have it. She's the head of one of the biggest media groups in Saudi Arabia. She's the head of the biggest film foundation. So what else do you want?
Yeah, what else do you want? There are no more stereotypes for religion,
Yeah.
especially, and culture.
Yeah. And the next story is again Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has launched an $80 million private equity fund dedicated to fashion. In a bid to propel local brands and talent onto the global stage, the 300 million Real Fashion Fund was announced at the first Cultural Investment Conference in Riyadh and will be managed by Mirak Capital, with the Cultural Development Fund of Saudi Arabia serving as anchor investor.
The fund will target growth stage companies across the fashion value chain, from apparel and accessories to e-commerce, beauty and supply chain solutions. So our goal is to enable Saudi brands to expand regionally and globally in the line with the vision of 2030, said Abdullah Al-Tamimi, CEO of Mirak Capital.
And officials say the fashion fund will also help establish a sustainable, competitive industry. Majid Al-Hojail, CEO of the Cultural Development Fund of Saudi Arabia, emphasized that partnerships with the private sector are laying the foundations for innovation, global access, and greater economic impact for fashion entrepreneurs.
So the initiative comes as Saudi Arabia's fashion and luxury market is set for major growth, forecast to climb from $30 billion in 2023 to $42 billion by 2028. With the Fashion Commission already supporting the sector, the new fund reinforces the kingdom's push to become a global hub for creative industries.
Saudi Arabia is the place to be right
Saudi
now.
Arabia is on a roll now.
Yeah, if you're
Everything.
a Spotify creator, you're getting a lot of
Music,
money.
fashion, business, everything, film.
I
It's
think,
covering everything.
but if you look at it closely, if you follow Saudi Arabia
Yes.
in the last 2-3 years, what I've realized is that we have very different strategy, the UAE of diversification, and they have a very different strategy.
Yeah,
UAE, when they want to diversify away, they are more into products and commodities, and they're more into product making and more into shipping, that, oh, bring the stuff here, put it here, and then if you want to send it to Europe, it's like a trans-country hub. So diversification away from oil, UAE has a very... Saudi Arabia's strategy is very interesting.
It's like
Entertainment, creative, gaming. We saw
big gaming
Esports World Cup last year, the second edition this year. It's been happening. They've now announced another country-based gaming World Cup where countries will compete against each other. So it's very interesting that they're not only going towards, oh, let's make milk products and expand and sell it. We are going into entertainment. And I think this is more prevalent in Saudi Arabia, less in UAE. I know Abu Dhabi has been doing, the F1 film was shot on the Abu Dhabi Yas Marina circuit, a lot of it. But Saudi Arabia, I think in this part, in entertainment, creative and gaming and all,
be the leads.
they are the lead, I think. Now they are, because they've invested so much money into it.
And I think this is what they want to do, is like they don't want to just become the suppliers or where people, or they send their own talents abroad, is that they want the talents to come to them, just like how they do it. They're trying to do that as well here in the UAE, and it's been in action for the past 2 years with Content Creators HQ. So they get influencers and bloggers and talents from all over the world, not just the region, from all over the world, giving them golden visas and basically have them be established here in the UAE. And I think this is what's happening in the Saudi, is that first of all they want to put their place in the world as a music center, entertainment center, fashion center, and this is where they can finally introduce and maybe get people inside the country where they can establish themselves.
Yeah, music-wise, the biggest stars in the world have already performed in Saudi Arabia. I think the first big star was, what's the name of the baby guy? The baby song? The kid who grew up and became such a big star. How can I forget his name? Who sang Baby?
Justin Bieber.
How can I forget Justin Bieber? Read too much business. I know
you know what? Like, it's not relevant. So
yeah, but again, he came, I remember, he did one of the biggest concerts in the start when they were like, okay, let's bring everything back. And then everyone came. Right now, the Middle Beast event.
Yeah, people flying to
literally people go and just attend concerts. Eminem was there. Linkin Park performed, I think, recently, and they're now coming to the UAE, Abu Dhabi, Dubai.
Dubai.
Wow, I'm going. But you have to understand that and again, this is again to the stigma that was attached with these countries, that nothing is happening. Everything is happening.
Everything is happening.
And it's the new LA.
And it's becoming, it's a new LA, and it's a wave of things happening at the same time.
And lastly, why all of this is happening and what is the reason behind all of this is basically that these countries have moved away from oil and expanded their economies, and they're earning a lot of money. So the very first thought that comes to mind is, where is this money coming from? And that is our last story, fourth story of the day. There's a report that came out that Abu Dhabi's Mubadala has emerged as the most active sovereign investor in the Middle East and North Africa region during the first 9 months of 2025. According to Global SWF, which is Global Sovereign Wealth Fund, Mubadala deployed 17.4 billion US dollars. Basically, they took this money and invested into startups, into anything they can. And this amount was ahead of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which is the largest sovereign wealth fund in the UAE, with 9.6 billion, and Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund with 6.2 billion, and ADQ was at 4.8 billion dollars.
Since its creation, Mubadala has also recorded the highest cumulative outbound investments among MENA state-owned investors, deploying more than $261 billion across 459 transactions. The Qatar Investment Authority ranked second with $251 billion, followed by the Public Investment Fund with $200 billion, and ADIA with $162 billion. Together, MENA sovereign funds manage $5.6 trillion in assets, projected to rise to $8.8 trillion by 2030.
I don't even remember how many zeros are there in trillion. I always get it. I've gone to billion. I now know that there are 9 zeros in billion. I think then we make it 12, but too much money that these sovereign wealth funds have, and they are investing very smartly and getting money out of it. In terms of inbound activity then, Saudi Arabia's PIF leads with nearly $16 billion invested regionally. So a lot of people came and invested in PIF companies, and that is $16 billion, while ADQ and Mubadala follow with around $9 billion each. So people from outside this region, they came and invested $9 billion in ADQ and Mubadala, both are Abu Dhabi based. Despite these flows, foreign inflows remain significantly smaller, with the region attracting only a third of what its sovereign investors deploy abroad.
Abu Dhabi remains the world's top city for sovereign wealth fund assets, overseeing 1.81 trillion of the $14 trillion managed worldwide. Riyadh follows with 1.07 trillion and Dubai with 567 billion, underscoring the Gulf's position as a global hub for sovereign capital.
And that's it for today. Masa?
So that's a wrap for today, and thank you for tuning in to the Smashi Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels at Smashi Business, and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
This has been a Smashi Business Show, a Smashi Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out to our more than 2 million monthly listeners across all platforms. Big shout out to our producer, broadcast engineer, Ujwal, and she's our producer also. She's replacing Vard. Vard will be here tomorrow, inshallah. And have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.